I have to think about what I want to talk about today. I was not able to come up with a topic, but yeah, we'll see. So like the first half will just be me thinking. So I apologize if it's a little bit quiet, but yeah. A little bit too heavy. Now it's too light, but it's too. I did it too slow. You gotta be joking me. Okay. Let's go do some biceps.
Attention members, the club will be closing in 30 minutes.
Hello, my love. Ow. Ow. Let's go to some lat raises. Alrighty. So, I do have a topic for today. But, brother. This is, like, really? Seriously? Like, why are we leaving trash in the machines, guys? It's gonna be about When to be frustrated with yourself. So we talked about like when it's not okay to be your worst critic. Now I want to talk about like the opposite. What's like a healthy frustration, or I guess not frustration, but more like what healthy criticism looks like. Healthy self-criticism. So we'll talk about that after. So we'll do this, and we'll do some push downs, and we'll talk about it over there. Let's draw a warm up first. It did not feel the same as normal. I got 10. That was interesting. Okay. So we'll do one more off camera, and then we'll go to some push downs. Alrighty. I think there's the bar that I use here anyways. Nope. It's not here. Give me 2 seconds. I think we're gonna try going for heavier than normal on push downs today. But we gotta talk about our topic first. So I'll lower my volume on my music and not hit myself in the head with this. I think something that kind of prompted me to talk about this is this idea that there is a time and a place for everything. I think people have a tendency to not want to feel negative feelings about themselves. And I'm not talking about in the sense of like self-worth or self-esteem, but I guess another way to put it is people have a lot of pride in who they are. And they want to make sure that in their own head, they seem a certain way, right? They seem a certain way to themselves. So I think something we have to kind of develop as we get closer and not closer and closer, as we progress, further and further in our goals, we have to develop a sort of we have to develop a method of critiquing the way we go about things in a healthy manner, so that regardless of how much progress we make, we can still, look back on it and say, okay, what can we learn? How can we grow? What could we have done better? And most people avoid that. Most people avoid that kind of thought, that kind of thinking, because it forces you to kind of look at your achievements in a semi-negative light, right? It forces you to, especially if things are hard or you're going after something that's difficult, it's, it's very easy to say, well, it was hard. Like, what could I have done better, right? Like, almost as if you're like a victim to the goals that you're setting. But that's not the case, right? We know, obviously, if something is going to be difficult, we're not asking ourselves to be unreasonable and be, expect perfection right off the bat. But we can, take an objective lens to what we're doing, and not even just ourselves, but ask others and say, okay, well, what can I do better so that the next time I try something that's this difficult, I have a better formula for approaching, this difficult task? Because the best people in the world, even like the champions you see, are always looking for ways to improve. Regardless of how much they've achieved, they're always looking for some form of improvement, whether it be mindset, whether it be discipline, whether it be habit, literally anything to give them the edge on their competition. And so we have to take their example and apply it to ourselves, not exactly to the same extremes, depending on what you're trying to do, but we have to look at our achievements and say, okay, yes, I achieved something, but even with that achievement, what can I do better? And I think this is why I wanted to talk about getting frustrated with yourself. Even me, with my 3 or 4 years of lifting experience, I get annoyed with myself because I know I should be doing my cardio. I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I have not been doing the amount of cardio that I planned on doing. And it frustrates me because I know I could be doing it. I just procrastinate. I'm someone that procrastinates. And I have to, in my mind, I wrestle with this idea of, okay, you have to do something. You have to change, and then you don't do it. And then what results in that, action is me being frustrated with myself because I know I'm capable of actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I know I'm capable of doing the cardio that I need to do. I know I'm capable of eating healthier. Why? Because I've done it before. But I fall back on, bad habits because that's, I'm human. That's normal. But like a lot of people miss this crucial step of, okay, it's normal, but we have to progress. We have to move forward. We have to remedy those habits, remedy those bad habits. Because if we don't, then we're just going to we're going to find, you can only progress so much until the bad habits catch up with you. And eventually it's going to hinder your progress. So you have to cut it off like at the root almost and say, okay, yes, this is a bad habit. What can I do to fix it? No matter what kind of feeling that brings up in you about your achievements. And I know it's difficult, especially if, like I said before, especially if you're someone that has accomplished a lot. It's very easy to say, oh, I'm all this. Look at all I've done. Look at all this I've accomplished. Look at all I've accomplished. Like, how can someone criticize me? Okay, well, I'm not asking someone to criticize you. I'm asking you to criticize yourself. Look at the things that you can improve on, because everyone knows what they struggle with. Don't try and play that game where, oh, I don't know. Yes, you do. You know. Focus on those things that you're struggling with and use your emotions as a tool. Get frustrated with yourself when you make the same mistake over and over and over again. Don't just go through the motions and, expect great results at the end. No, you have to, I always say this, you have to move with intention. If you know you have bad habits, get frustrated with yourself. Fix those bad habits. Move towards progress. Don't just let them don't let them take root and just fester in your progress and then eventually catch up with you and hinder it. Like, you're setting yourself up for failure at that point. And you can't expect anything less if you allow those habits to continue. So I think that's like majority of what I wanted to get out. But there is a time, like, I guess, like, going off of what I initially said, there is a time and place for everything. There's a time and place to be, excited about what you're trying to do. There's a time and place to be, happy with the results you've gotten, to be proud of yourself, to be proud of your achievements. But there's also a time to be critical of yourself and to really look at what you're doing and ask whether or not you're actually doing, your best. And if you're not, then you need to fix that. You need to be frustrated with yourself, not in the sense that you put yourself down or you tell yourself you're bad or, speak negatively about yourself, but you need to, correct yourself like a parent would correct you. You need to correct yourself and push yourself in the right direction so that you can correct those habits, so that eventually you can grow further than you thought you were going to be, growing 2 or 3 years ago. So let's do our warm up, and then we'll do some heavier tricep extents. Yeah. I hate that there's just weights scattered all over this gym, bro. People need to learn that the janitors are not your cleanup crew. Put stuff back where it belongs. Or don't use it at all. That should be the gym policy. Unless you are a cripple or crippled or like, I don't know. I guess crippled is like the only excuse. You should not be leaving weights around for people to pick up for you. You're not 5. So we'll do this. I don't even know if I can. I used to be able to do this, but I was also, I think, like a little bit heavier last time. So we'll see. I should be able to do it. I don't think that it's going to be a big deal. That 5 pounds really isn't going to make much of a difference. I'm just skipping the song though. Oh, I'm actually going to listen to this one. Okay. Nah. Heavy. Okay. Yeah, because the 45 was getting pretty light. Wait. Yeah. Wait. Have I ever done the 45? I think I have. No, I haven't. No. What the hell? That was like a That was like a 35-pound PR. Yeah. I think the heaviest I've ever done is like a 25 and a 10. That was weird. That was really strange. Okay. Interesting. I'm off camera. Okay, so we have your delts to do. Some bicep work, and we shall be done. I almost hit my head again. Is it that weight? Are you sure it's that right? Yeah, it's fine. Ugh. Ow! Like a 9 or 10? I lost count. Nope. All right, we'll do the second set off camera, and then we'll record the bicep exercises just because it's boring. It's for adults. Yeah, there's no need to see. It's whatever. Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah, it should be fine. Oopsie. Well, this is kind of the same thing, isn't it? So let's do this bar instead. Do this bar instead. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that weight. Okay. Roll our shoulders forward. One more off camera. Ow. Ow. Alrighty. So we're looking today. If you did enjoy the content, or if it helped you in any way, please drop a like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video.